Good afternoon. I'm Sherry Naudine, owner of Collegiate Sports Advocate, and this is podcast number 8 with the one and only Mimi. Mimi, take it away.
Hi, my name is Botticelli. I'm a pitcher. I'm in the class of 2026, and I play for Marty Tyson and Dina Sly in the Corona Angels organization.
They are fabulous. Some of my favorite in the business. They
Me
have been
too.
around a long time. I literally sat with them one time at the College World Series, and they had like 11 or 13 student athletes in the College World Series. I was just like blown away of the
Mhm.
excellence that they put out there. So, wow, what a
Yes,
blessing that was for you. Tell
yes.
me about your recruiting journey. What was the thing you liked the best?
The best part about the recruiting journey was probably all like the people I got to meet, all the schools I got to visit, and all the coaches and all the players I got to meet at camps and at tournaments and all that. And I just really like the opportunity to meet all those people and see how like different colleges like work.
And that's great. And so you learned a
Yeah.
lot about different universities and what the right
hmm
fit would be. So where did you commit to?
I committed to Boise State University in Idaho, and I absolutely love it there. And I love the coaches, and I love the campus, and I love every part about it.
And was there one thing that just put you over the edge and said, this is it, this is my home?
Probably the support I got from the coaches. I really have never got that anywhere else. Like that, how much that they wanted me to play for them really made it seem like that was like the best place to go. And I just loved the support, and they were all so welcoming, and everyone was just so nice. And that's like was really important to me.
That's awesome. So a family
Mhm.
feeling, a sense of you're
Yes.
valued, a sense
hmm
that you belong there and that they're committed to you. That's amazing. Along the way, was there something that you just said, wow, this wasn't fun, this wasn't a great experience? Tell us some of the bumps you had in the road.
Probably just like not being seen by the people I wanted to be seen by. And over the summer, being on a very competitive team, not getting all the chances I wanted. And that's like just how it works out. Sometimes people get more opportunities, and it's just the only thing that I like that was hard for me was probably just like not getting seen by who I wanted to be seen by. But it all worked out in the end because, the right people saw me, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, and that's the hard part of navigating it. And that's always the mystery to me. Like, how do you navigate it yourself if
hmm
people aren't there to give you feedback and say, hey, this school came up and they may not be one you were emailing, but they really like you. And I
Well,
know that
yeah,
happened to you.
that
And
was a big
without
part of CSA. Yeah, that you guys were always there and to tell me that. And that was the main part. Like that was probably the best part about having CSA because you were always there to tell me who was reaching out and who was like coming back to me. So that was probably like the most helpful part.
That's great. And I know your coaches, had set you up for a big, huge visit and you had an offer. And without naming names, was
hmm
there some reason why that just didn't feel right for you?
Yeah, totally. And having patience throughout the whole process, that was definitely another hard part, but it ended up being probably the best part too, because I trusted in myself and in God, and we all like everyone was there to lead me to the right place. So it all worked out in the end.
And one thing I really liked was getting to know your family. I think I
Mhm.
talked to your dad daily, which was fun. I feel like he's my new
Yeah.
BFF. And then just guiding you and your mom through the visits. And, she
hmm
said a funny thing back, and it might not be the right words, but she said she liked how we prepped you guys for the visit. And she thought, well, maybe
Yes.
we were being a little conservative, but she understood when you got there by seeing how everybody else was treating the visit.
Yes, definitely. Yes. 100%.
Uh, awesome. And then tell me about the grade match and the academic match. How did that
Yeah.
become part of it?
Well, something that I had my mindset on like what I want to be when I grow up. I want to be a physician's assistant and get into athletic training for maybe a big sports team like the NFL, but I wanted to choose somewhere that would have that major and stuff that I can study. And so I'm very lucky that I can do health studies when I go to Boise State and be on the right track. And they have a really great athletic training program too. And so hopefully I'll be able to work with maybe some other sports teams to do that. But yeah, that was a big part. It's not just going to school for 4 years, it's going for the next 40. So I know what I'm going to be doing when I grow up. And that was like a big part of it, going somewhere where I'd be able to learn at just a high level as I'm playing softball.
I love it. And just finding that match is always a real difficult thing too, because sometimes your academics outweigh the school and sometimes the talent level outweighs the academic.
Yeah.
And I just really felt like this was such a real God thing for you, right? It
hmm
right on cue. And yet, it was hard going through and being patient through the layers of the process. And
Mhm.
I know sometimes it was hard, being asked to go to camps that you'd already been to, or
Yeah.
revisiting things. How did you endure through that? What was your mindset?
Well, my mindset basically was just to trust God's plan that He had for me and always be grateful that I get to do these things because there's some people out there who probably didn't get to go to all these camps or didn't get to visit all these schools. And I just had to have faith and trust that this was the right way to go and that I had to go through all that extra trials and whatever just to get to the right spot. And even though sometimes it didn't work out how I thought it was all worth it in the end. And especially because of the trust that I put in myself and my family with CSA and with God.
Yeah, I love it. And something that we see a lot is is a comparison that goes on. Well, I'm better than that kid, and I know you never said these things, but
Yeah.
it's natural. It goes on in our heads because even I say it like, "Oh my God, where am I missing? The my kids are this much and that and this." And it's like it's sometimes just this unknown thing, but without proper communication and feedback, you just don't know, and it's such a mystery. Did you have any of that in the process?
Yeah, definitely like mixed signals were a big part of the whole recruiting process. I saw it like through everything, like, oh, they said they were going to come to our games and they're not at our games, or they said they were going to invite me, but then they didn't. And that just didn't happen to me. I saw it through everyone and all my teammates, and it's just the whole thing was kind of wishy-washy, but at the end of the day, the things that were supposed to happen happened. So that's what
Yes.
yeah.
And I always say that, and you said the word squishy wishy, right? But it's like,
Hmm.
it just sounds like a line, like trust the process. You're going to be happy in
Yeah.
the end. You're going to understand. But what we say at CSA is actually work the process, and then
Yeah.
it's going to happen. And Mimi, you work the process. Tell me
Hmm.
some of the things that you did that were above and beyond what you had ever been taught before that worked for you.
Well, the main thing that I did was send lots and lots and lots of emails. And with the help of CSA, obviously, I learned how to send correct emails because before I joined, I was sending emails just not in the way that I should have. So I learned how to send correct emails at the correct times, different emails for different seasons. And me and my dad made a huge spreadsheet of like all these schools, and we were able to email all those schools on the list. It took a lot of work and a long, long time. But in the end, it was worth it because then I started seeing those schools show up and getting invited to camps. And so having that resource was really helpful.
Oh, that's fantastic. You said it better
Mhm.
than I can explain it
Mhm.
because, sometimes we get in our way and we've been doing it a long time, but that's one of the things we do is we check with the college coaches, even in your situation when some of these things didn't happen I would call another coach from a different, organization or sorry, a different college, and I would say, "Hey, where am I missing? What am I doing wrong?" And
Yeah.
they're like, "Nope, nope, you're on it. It's fine. This kid is the right kid." And I do this for all my kids, by the way, is check them against where we're targeting and what we're doing, and we all knew that this was going to happen for you. We just had to find the right one, right?
Yes. Yes.
Is there advice you would give a younger student athlete coming through the process?
Definitely. Well, overall, just have patience and trust in God, but also the small things that you can do, you can always, even if like you're not having your best day, you can always control your attitude and your effort. And so just being the loudest teammate or being the most supportive teammate, even when you're not playing, is super important. Always cheer in the dugout and lift others up, even when you're down, when they're down, everyone will just like feed off that energy and become better, and always just put your head down and work. Don't worry about what other people around you are doing. Just trust yourself that you can get through this and just be a good teammate along the way.
I love it. I would firm that up as stay true to your character because that
Yes.
describes you, Mimi. So I want to say
Thank
that
you.
one on record there. So with that said, we want to thank Mimi, who's going up to Boise State. We're super excited. And Mimi, last thing on the thing, what is your workout plan? What are you doing now to make sure you're ready to play when you get there?
Yeah, I'm making sure to stay on top of my health and my nutrition, always eating clean. I have a sweet tooth, but I try to save that for the weekends or like as a special treat, but always staying on top of my nutrition, eating healthy, running. I do a lot of long distance running, like running miles, running hills. And every Tuesday, I work out with this place in my hometown called Olympus Movement, and we do conditioning and strength work and speed work. And I do that every Tuesday night, and that really helps me too, feel better and stay on top of my health. And I pitch throughout the week, and yeah, just always work out
Awesome.
hard.
Well, let's close it out with a big thank you. You just mentioned your workout facility, mention your hitting, your pitching coaches, and then
Yeah.
finally your travel team again.
Yes. So, like I said, I work out with Olympus Movement and I did polarized CrossFit for a little bit. So, thank you to them. Thank you to my pitching coaches, Rob Baca and Bill Corbett, and my hitting coach. I am going to hit this high school season, hopefully. So, Frank Contreras, and my parents, my mom, my dad, Paige and Ralph Botticelli. And finally, my coaches, Marty Tyson and Dina Sly, and the whole Corona Angels organization.
That was fabulous. Thank you so much, Mimi, for
Yes.
choosing CSA. We've been privileged to be part of your journey, and we stay with you until you graduate college. So we're going to
Yes.
always be there cheering for you and rooting for you and wishing you well.